John was a humble farmer. He was very poor. He had just a small piece of land where he grew his crops. Life was tough, and he needed some extra money. So, he went to the village moneylender and borrowed some money that he needed to make ends meet. John could not pay back the money on time. One day, the moneylender, Adam, came to his hut and demanded his money back. John pleaded,
"Please give me a little more time. Once I harvest my crops, I will pay you back your money."
Adam rebuked him and insisted that he pay his money immediately, or else he would go to the village chief and complain about him. John's wife could not tolerate this insult, and she said,
"I have kept some money to buy a blanket for the winter. Please pay it to the moneylender so that we can get rid of his debt."
John said,
"But how can we pass this cold winter without a blanket?"
John's wife said,
"You are right, but there is no way out. We must return the moneylender's money. Otherwise, we will have to bear the insult of the village chief."
Finally, John paid the money to the moneylender. There were tears in his wife's eyes. She said to John,
"Though we work so hard, we are so poor that we can't even buy a blanket. What is the use of working so hard? Why don't you leave farming and become a laborer?"
John said,
"What can we do? It is our bad luck that we are born poor. We can't change our fate. There are only abuses in our fate, and we have to bear them. We neither have food to eat nor clothes to wear. I must go to the fields now, as it is getting dark."
John took his dog, Sonu, with him and went to the fields. It was very cold that night. John and Sonu were shivering with cold. John muttered to himself,
"Oh, how cold this night is. I have no blanket, and I can't stay in my hut because of the crops. My wife is right. Perhaps I should work as a laborer. That way, I can avoid sleeping in the fields during cold nights, and maybe even earn more money than farming."
John smoked his clay pipe and tried to sleep, but there was no relief from the cold. John then lit some fire. Soon, John and Sonu felt warm and slept. After some time, Sonu heard the sound of some animals. He got up and began to bark. Some cattle had entered the field, and they were eating the crops. Sonu was barking, but his master did not wake up. The next morning, when John woke up, he saw his wife standing there. She said,
"Are you not going to get up today? Look, the cattle have eaten up all the crops. You should have kept watch over the fields. You did not even know that Sonu was barking."
John saw that the cattle had destroyed all the crops. Nothing was left. John, instead of getting worried, took a sigh of relief and said,
Now I will not have to sleep in the open on such an icy cold night. I will work as a laborer.
Moral: challenges are just temporary bumps on the road of life. So, keep your chin up. Stay hopeful. And you'll always find a way forward. No matter how difficult things seem. Once upon a time, there was a big tree where lots of birds lived happily. Right below the tree, an old vulture had made its home. The vulture's eyesight was failing, and he was having trouble finding food. This often left him in trouble and feeling quite hungry. The birds went out to search for food early in the morning. The young birds were quite naughty. They were always playing around and having fun throughout the day. The older birds often worried about them, especially when they went out to find food. They knew the little ones needed looking after. One day, the chief myna bird flew down to the vulture.
"Dear vulture,"
she said,
"we have a problem. Our young ones are very naughty and play around all day. We worry about them when we go searching for food. Can you please look after them while we are away?"
The vulture, sitting on a low branch, nodded kindly.
Don't worry, Mina.
He reassured her.
Of course. I will take care of all the young ones and keep a close eye on them in your absence. They will be safe with me.
The myna felt relieved and thanked the vulture warmly before flying back to her flock to share the good news. The birds used to feed the old vulture. In return, it looked after their chicks. One day, a cat happened to come there. His mouth watered at the sight of so many chicks. It was not possible to hunt them in the presence of the vulture. So, he decided to befriend the vulture. and made a friendship offer.
Hey there, vulture.
The cat meowed, approaching with a friendly flick of its tail.
I have noticed you are alone under this tree. Can we become friends? Friendship is always a good thing, right?
Thanks, cat.
The vulture said softly. They became friends. Now the cat paid visits every day and quietly gobbled a chick each day. The vulture could not notice it because it had failing eyesight. The birds on return would find a chick or two missing, but they were not sure about it because the chicks were always visiting one another in the nests. One day Mina returned after searching for food. Her heart sank as she couldn't find her chick in the nest. Distressed, she flitted from branch to branch, calling out for her missing little one.
Where are you?
She chirped anxiously. Spotting another bird's nest nearby, she hurried over, hoping that her chick might be there. But, alas, it was in vain. Her chick was nowhere to be found. Day by day, similar incidents occurred as more chicks went missing. The bird community was in a state of worry and confusion. A day came when most of the chicks became meals of the cat. The chief Mina investigated and found the feathers of chicks in the tree hollow down there. She informed the other birds.
The vulture has been eating our chicks. The old thug. The evidence is there in the hollow near where it stands.
The birds attacked and killed the vulture. Moral: trust is valuable, but be wary of those who may take advantage of it.